Yo, hello everyone, Aplaya here. This video is going to be about Awakening Dosa basic PvP guide. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the builds, Evasion or TR, and the skills, my chosen core, some basic combo, my add-ons, some skill animation cancels, my Rabam selection, some spoilers, I'm not choosing the iframe Rabam. And then I will talk about some stamina management and movement, and some PvP tips and tricks for Awakening Dosa PvP. And should you have any question about this guide or Awakening Dosa overall, you can reach me directly on twitch.tv/hytaplaya. I'm currently actively streaming there. Or you can also leave your question in the comment section below. Awakening Dosa is a DR class since you don't have any evasion passive or active skills. And now the question is it better to build DR Glass Cannon or build DR with some tankiness? It's up to you, but for me personally, I enjoy building Glass Cannon more, because Awakening Dosa has skills that facilitate us to do a hit and run playstyle pretty easily. Especially when we have 5 range skill, and we can jump in with 1 skill and go out really easily. For example, it's gonna be like this. You hit the enemy from range, then you jump in, dump some damage and go out really easily. And because of this, I feel like Awakening Dosa doesn't really need a lot of tankiness. But then again, it's up to you, both can work. Awakening Dosa is a pretty unique class since you have this elemental combination mechanic where you can combine one skill with another skill to create an AoE that will do damage to the enemy but also give you some buff depending on the skills that you combine, and also will debuff the enemy by minus 20 DP and minus 6% evasion. And the example of that, if we combine the fire skill with the wood skill, it will create a fire ring that will do the damage and give you some buff and also will debuff the enemy. So the example is when I use the fire spread, I combine it with the wood stake, it will create a fire ring. I combine it with the wood stake, it will create the fire ring here. Okay, now let's talk about my core selection, and the core that I choose is the Earth core, and I never change it no matter what kind of PvP that I do. And yeah, the reason is because this skill has very big AoE, and also this skill deals a lot of damage, and combined with the float, it will do air attack damage, and air attack damage has the highest damage modifier second to critical damage. And yeah, basically in Solar, I can one-shot some class with this skill alone. So I think the Earth core is the best core, based on the reason that I stated before. But let's talk about the other core. So the Wood core, I think this core is pretty good, but I think it's still worse compared to the Earth core, since you cannot resist the enemy while also generating an elemental combination, unlike the Earth core, where you can resist the enemy with the fire skill while also generating an elemental combination. The next one, the Metal Temper and the Fire Blaze core. So I think this core is pretty bad, especially for the Fire Blaze, since the FG only apply at the skills, not the flow. And also, these two skills has a fairly fast casting time, and on top of that, these skills are range skill, so your FG most likely will not really be utilized. The next one, the Water core. So I think this core is pretty good, but it's kinda a shame that the flow, the water flood, has down smash in it, so you have a potential to down smash the enemy early after knock them down with the water wave skill. And because of that, I think it's kinda bad. The next one, the Enlightened Haze. So this skill, I mainly use it for movement skills only, so most likely I will not really hit the enemy with these skills. So that's why I think the core is not that good. Okay, now let's talk about my add-ons. So Awakening Dosa is pretty weird when it comes to add-ons, since most of the elemental skills has 12 seconds cooldown, and the add-ons duration only lasts for 12 seconds. So it can be pretty hard to maintain the add-ons buff up all the time. And the first thing that I think about when I formulate my add-ons is what skills that I use the most. And the second thing is what is the most important add-ons for the class. And I think the most important add-ons for Awakening Dosa is the critical hit rate and the attack casting speed. And that's why I put two of these add-ons overlapping on my two most used skills. And it's actually pretty nice since Fire Spread is a range skill and Wing Kick is a melee skill, so you have a nice combination of overlap right there. And the same with my Woodband and the Metal Pour. I overlap the extra damage to human and all DP minus 20 in this Woodband and the Metal Pour skill, since I use these two skills a lot, and also because this skill, Metal Pour, is a range skill and the Woodband is a melee skill, so it's kinda nice to overlap the add-ons on these two skills. The next one, I put the Evasion Shred add-ons on the Metal Temper because, I use this skill a lot and it can be pretty good to have an Evasion Shred add-ons in your skill kit to melt the Evasion enemy. Next one, I put the Bleeding on the Earth Tail because, I don't have any bleeding add-ons and I think that it could be pretty nice to have one, so that's why I put it here. And also I put the critical hit damage here because this skill deals a lot of damage, and I think it's gonna be pretty good if the damage is amplified with the critical hit damage from here add-ons. Okay, now let's talk about my Rabam selection. So the first one, I chose the Dual Slash, and the reason is because these skills can come in handy when I need a re-CC while my other CC skills are on cooldown. And the second one, I choose the Reverse Blade Waltz instead of the Moonlit Haze, the iframe one. And the reason is because, Awakening Dosa doesn't have a lot of SI damage, and these skills actually do pretty good damage. And also the second reason is because this Moonlit Haze consumes stamina, and Awakening Dosa is a class that need to manage your stamina well. And also, after you cast this Moonlit Haze, most likely you will cast your Shift Direction to go back to your Awakening state, and that's another stamina to consume. The third one, we should always choose the Windseer instead of the Airy Piercer, since you cannot cast Airy Piercer after Q block with your Awakening weapon. And yeah, you will cast your Volume Slash instead if you press your LMB after Q block with your Awakening weapon. And it's also actually written in the skill. So Airy Piercer, LMB after Windseer blocks with your Wando, which is your main weapon. And yeah, that's why you should always choose the Windseer instead of the Airy Piercer. Let's talk about the combo. So Awakening Dosa is actually a pretty flexible class when it comes to combo, thanks to the elemental combination mechanic. So doesn't matter what elemental combination you do, it will debuff the enemy just the same amount. And yeah, the key is you need to follow the elemental combination, but also not to be so stuck on it. So for example, when you need a re-CC after you cast the fire and to the wood, and if you don't take the water core, you cannot re-CC the enemy. And because of that, you need to skip the water and go to the metal immediately to re-CC the enemy. And then after that, you can follow the elemental combination again to earth and then the fire. So it's going to be like this. Use your fire skill and then the wood skill. You don't have time for water, you immediately go to the metal, then you cast your earth, then fire. So the first combo that I'm going to demonstrate is the combo from the Wing Kick Catch. So after we catch somebody with our Wing Kick, we can cast our metal skill until the Metal Pour for the re-CC. Then we cast our earth skill for the elemental combination. Then we can continue with our fire skill. So it's gonna be like this. We catch somebody with our Wing Kick, we cast the metal skill, Metal Pour for re-CC, earth skill, then fire skill. And the second combo is the range combo. When you catch somebody with our fire spread from long range, we have two options. The first option is to cast another fire skill until the fire burst for the KD re-CC. Then we jump in with our nail down. Then we cast our wood skill. Then we cast our water skill. So the first one is going to be like this. We catch somebody with our S+RMB, then SHIFT+RMB. We jump in, we do Shift F, then Shift E with the flow. And the second option when you catch someone with your S+RMB is to cast the metal skill until the Metal Pour. Then you jump in with your nail down. then you use your SHIFT+Q into the fire blaze, S+RMB. So it's going to be like this. You catch somebody with your S+RMB, cast all of the metal skill, jump in, SHIFT+Q, then S+RMB. So the next one, I'm going to show you the combo from the SHIFT+Q Catch, and this will only work if you take the SHIFT+Q core. So when you catch somebody with the SHIFT+Q, you can move to safer location first with your shift direction, and then cast the S+RMB for the KD. Then we follow up with the wood band into the water wave. So it's going to be like this. You catch somebody with SHIFT+Q, you move into a safety location, then S+RMB, then Shift+F, then Shift+E. Actually, there is a better combo to use when you catch someone with your SHIFT+Q. It is to utilize the stiff from the fire blaze into the fire burst for the KD, and these two skills will deal a lot more damage than the fire spread alone. But this is a pretty advanced combo since you need to time it very perfectly, and also because of the down smash on the SHIFT+Q skill, the RNG can mess with our timing a lot, and me myself, I'm still having a hard time to time it perfectly. But I will just tell you that it's possible, and I'm going to demonstrate it to you now. So when you cast your SHIFT+Q, you dash a bit, wait a bit, S+RMB, Shift+F, then Shift+E. Okay, now let's talk about the skill cancels. So the skill cancels here, what I mean is you can cancel the first animation of some skills, and those skills are the Sundering Sweep, Fire Blaze, Wood Band, Wood Stake, Metal Temper, and the Metal Pour. And yeah, let's talk about it. Okay, now let's talk about the Sundering Sweep. So you can cancel the first animation of Sundering Sweep, the one that you punch, this one, with other skills. And those skills are the Fire Blaze, the Wood Band, the Water Wave, and the Flow, and also the Water Current. And I will quickly demonstrate it to you. So after you cast the Water Wave, you can cancel it. Wood Band, mid to the second and third hit. The Fire Blaze, also the same. But generally you will not use the Sundering Sweep after casting any of these elemental skill. The more general use case is when you cast your Velum Slash and you get the knockback, and you can do the second and the third hit for the quick bound CC to the enemy. So it's going to be like this. You dash, Velum Slash, second and the third hit for the bound. Now let's talk about the Fire Blaze, the Wood Band, and the Metal Temper. So you can cancel the first animation of these three skills by casting basically any other skills. But except for the Wood Band, you cannot cancel the first animation of it after casting the Earth Rip. So I will show you real quick. Earth Rip, the first animation of the Wood Band will not be cancelled. And I have a tips for you when you want to quick cast these three skills, but you don't want to waste your movement skills or any other skills. You can cast your first hit of Sundering Sweep real quick, then cast the elemental skill. So I will show you. You press your RMB, then cast your Fire Blaze immediately. Sundering Sweep, Fire Blaze. Same with the Metal Temper. Sundering Sweep, Metal Temper. Same with the Wood Band. Sundering Sweep, Wood Band. And yeah. So for Wood Stake, you can cancel the first part of the animation where you kick the staff, and go to the second animation immediately where you stab with the staff. So you can cancel the first part where you kick with the staff and go to the stabbing animation immediately. And the skills that cancel it is the Velum Slash and the Wood Band. So after you cast your Velum Slash, you cast your Wood Stake, it immediately cancel the first animation and go to the stabbing animation. And the same with the Wood Band, you cast your Wood Band, cast your Wood Stake, it immediately go to the stabbing animation. And the use case for this is where you want to create a quick elemental generation of wood and water to heal yourself, and it's going to be even better if you take the water core for a potential DCC. And yeah, so the use case is gonna be like this. You cast your Velum Slash, you cast your Wood Stake immediately, and then cast your Water Weave. And if you take the core, you can cast the metal into the metal pour for another KD. Then go to the earth, then fire. So it's going to be like this. Cast your shift direction, Velum Slash, F, shift E, metal skill, another metal skill KD, shift Q, then shift RMB. Now let's talk about the metal pour. So this skill has 3 parts of animation. The first one when you gather the metal, and the second one when you build a wall, and the third one when you stomp the enemy. So let's cast it. For example, you gather the metal, build a wall, stomp the enemy. And yeah, basically after casting any of the skill, you will cancel the first animation. But there's some skills that will cancel the second animation, but also there are some skills that will not cancel the second animation of the skill. And since it's pretty long, I will just show on the screen what cancels the second animation and what not. Okay, now let's talk about the stamina management. So if you see line here, all of the upper skills here will consume your stamina except for the E-buff and the basic attack. And all of the skills down here, all of the elemental skills, will actually regenerate your stamina. And that's the first thing you need to remember. And the second thing is, you need to chain your movement skills with Velum Slash as often as possible, since this Velum Slash consume very little stamina and highly spammable. And you can chain it from basically any of our movement skills, from like WF, Velum Slash, Shift Direction, Velum Slash, W+RMB, Velum Slash. The third one is the Sky Stomp. Don't use this skill a lot, only use it when you want to avoid grab, or you are very low in HP and you want to regenerate some HP, or you want to move away from the current position with your Phoenix form of the safe space. But my suggestion is don't spam it too much since it consumes a lot of stamina. And the next one is the SF. So when you are low on stamina and you are cornered, you can always use your SF to safely move to other spot. And this SF doesn't consume any stamina, and actually it will regenerate your stamina a bit. And I will show you the example. So you use your stamina a bit and you are cornered, you don't have any stamina left to use, you can use your SF to move to the other direction. And it is a pretty good skill to escape the enemy. Okay, so this section I'm just going to showcase that if we manage our stamina well, Awakening Dosa can move a lot. And I will showcase to you guys that I will use all of my movement skills from this point to the other point and go back here non-stop, and I will not run out of stamina. And yeah, of course I will use the SF a lot since this skill is really good for movement skills. And yeah, I will start from now. I'm using my WF first, Velum Slash, SF, spacebar, side RMB, Velum Slash, WF, Velum Slash, shift space, Velum Slash, W+RMB, Velum Slash, wing kick, we go back, spacebar, side RMB, Velum Slash, W+RMB, Velum Slash again, wing kick, Velum Slash again, shift space, WF, Velum Slash again, SF, spacebar, side RMB, wing kick. We just use just enough stamina from this point to that point and go back with casting all of our movement skills, which are mostly protected. And yeah, that's just a showcase to you guys. Okay, now let's talk about some PvP tips and tricks. The first one is always turn on your aim assistance, since this aim assistance will help you to land your nail down very easily. And the second one is the Velum Slash and the wing kick. So these two skills actually has some circular AoE, so you don't need to always land the skill in front of the enemy face. So I'm gonna demonstrate it to you real quick. It's going to be like this. Velum Slash, you see here, the enemy behind me, he got knocked back. And the same with the wing kick, the W+RMB. It also gonna hit the enemy behind us. So I'm gonna show you real quick. And the next one is you can cast your Sky Storm instantly from idle animation. And the trick is you cast your Sundering Sweep real quick into the Sky Storm. So you press your RMB and instantly press your spacebar. RMB spacebar. Let me show you again. RMB spacebar. Next one, I'm going to show you an infinite combo that you can use, especially mostly in large scale since nobody is targeting you and you can cast your skill kinda freely. And yeah, the key is you waste all of your range skill first, then you jump in and dump some damage with the wood or the earth skill, and then you go out with your spacebar, then shift space, then you cast your range skill again, and then jump in again and rinse and repeat like that. So it's going to be like this. You cast all of your range skill, jump in, dump some big damage, spacebar, go out, cast the range skill again, jump in, dump some damage, spacebar, go out, and again, rinse and repeat. Okay, that's it guys from me. Hopefully it will help you in some way. And yeah, if you guys have any more question about anything, feel free to tune into my stream to ask the question, or you can also leave your question in the comment section below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching and see you next time.